Where the fuck is the Mighty Plus? It was promised like 9 years ago. I'm just kidding. It was like, seems like 2 years ago. When did the Crafty Plus come out? Crafty Plus came out 18 months ago or 15 months ago or some shit like that.
I think
A
it's
year ago?
like 2 years this fall or something like that. It's a lot longer than we think, man. Like it really is. Like, but the Mighty wasn't really promised. You know what I mean? Like, or was it? I mean, were you promised? I wasn't promised. But were you promised?
Oh, you can't go on the record with that.
I've never been promised the Mighty.
I mean, no one ever like shook hands with 420 vapes. Oh, and I promise you, we're gonna have a. But I was given dates. Like I was given like you can expect it by, and then I was given another date. Like you can expect it. Like oh no, we had some issues and we can expect it. And those have all like come and gone, and now.
Just like you, I've heard dates, but it's going back so long that I literally don't even like give a shit anymore. You know what I mean? It's almost like I don't even like whenever. You know what I mean?
It's like the Duke Nukem thing.
Yeah, it's like I'll believe it when I see it. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, the good news is I don't know if it's good news, but I mean I don't even have a date now. So it's like just like you, I've heard dates for probably close to 18 months to 2 years. And it never works out, and I never know why. They keep they keep a tight lip over there, and they should. So, and if we knew something, they wouldn't want us to tell it anyhow. So, god damn, I can't wait for it either. It's kind of like you don't have to be a brain surgeon to figure it out. I mean, they updated the Volcano, then they updated the Crafty, which is the same damn thing as the Mighty. I thought they'd do that shit at the same time. The only thing I can think of is, I don't know why this would matter, but the only difference between the Crafty and the Mighty was that the Mighty had the medical thing going on with the medic. And maybe that's got something to do with it, even though you and I don't want the medical version. You know what I mean? Like, that is the only difference between the two. I'm sure they're the same fucking upgrades, whatever they were. You know what I mean? Unless something doesn't apply. So all I know is everybody keeps asking. Everybody should keep asking. And it feels like we should be close because I've been close to many of these things for 10 years now, and they always have delays. I know that. Like the first date's never hit. You can just guarantee the first date is never hit. Some of them get close, but when you get as far out as we are now with the Mighty, when you're talking well over a year, you start to think, okay, now it's really got to be soon. If they said something serious back then it ought to be pretty soon. So.
When the Crafty Plus came out, it was disappointing to a lot of enthusiasts and reviewers because it wasn't enough of an update, quite frankly. It was still micro USB, it's still all the same shit, just literally some little improvements. And the improvements made a big difference, and don't get me wrong. And I even welcome those exact improvements to be the Mighty Plus. I would still welcome that. Like, I'm not going to say that I would be disappointed. I won't be disappointed though, because I still think there's room for more than just the Crafty Plus range of improvements to be applied to the Mighty for the Mighty Plus. Like USB-C, please. Like, give me an opportunity to charge this motherfucker in my car without a specialty charger. It's kind of standard now, like phones and all this stuff. USB-C is everywhere. What other things would you like to see, like that go beyond the Crafty Plus improvements, for the potential Mighty Plus?
Well, I'll add a couple things too, as well. I imagine they'll make the outside look similar. You know what I mean? They're gonna look. They'll probably do the same thing to the outside on the Mighty Plus as they did the Crafty Plus, and thin out these little ridges. I'd be shocked if they didn't fix this rounded bottom problem. That now this is probably the most popular accessory on the planet right now is this Mighty stand, because everybody with a Mighty wants their Mighty to stand up, and this thing does it. So. If they got to fix that. That's probably the thing that I want the most. Is I want it to do that the Crafty does.
Planet of the Vapes still has this stand, right? Like the basic black.
Planet of the Vapes does, yeah. There's that one and a steel one. I recommend that over the steel. The big thing with the Crafty was battery life and reliability issues. And the reliability issues had to do with the plastic shell cracking, and they were both the same material. So I'd imagine whatever they did to the material to fix this is probably going to find its way into here. I don't know. I don't even know what it is, but I think they upgraded that somehow. There it is, Mighty Plus. What is that on?
This is Reddit, and this is from the music video that the Mighty Plus was spotted in. So you can see that it has a little plus, and it has orange buttons instead of gray buttons. And it looks like it has like a stand or something built in, like.
Oh yeah, little feet down there to hold it up. Very cool. Yes. Okay, perfect. Good. Little feet. Oh, so if that's it, so we got little feet, obviously the logo, changing the buttons. Mouthpiece looks the same. It looks like they changed the ridges to look like the Crafty Plus, like we said. Nothing you can't tell there with the charging, but I'm with you. I would rather have USB-C. I'd like to heat up a little faster. I'd like even more battery life, because who doesn't? Yeah, they definitely changed the ridges in to be like the Crafty Plus. The cooling unit does look the same. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They didn't change it with the Crafty. They'll change the logo on it, of course. Big deal. But other things that they either did or didn't do with the Crafty, I don't really have anything, man. The Crafty needed that third temperature, and that made it work for me. But the Mighty's already got everything on board. You know what I mean? Like with the Mighty, it's all already there. I'm trying to think, what else would you do to it though, bro? I mean, the bowl's fine. It looks like the bowl's the same in that stuff, size-wise, you know? So what else would you do? You'd change the charging. I mean, they're not going to do removable batteries. They clearly didn't, or it doesn't look like they did. What do you think's a fair price for it?
For the Mighty or for the
Mighty Plus? The Mighty's $350. It came out at $400. Now it's $350. Mighty Plus has come in. When this came out, it was $330, right? And then it dropped to
$279.
$279, but there was some other jimmying around in there. But anyhow, okay.
I think it was $299 when it. I mean, the original Crafty was $330, but when the Crafty Plus hit, it was like $299, I think, and then it dropped to $279.
I mean, how much is the Mighty Plus going to cost? So what do you think? I mean, what do you think it's worth?
I don't want to see it cost more than the current Mighty, honestly. Like I think the Mighty is already riding its brand and its reputation a little too hard. Like I think the vape market has settled itself out. You know, years ago, brands like Boundless set the bar. Like they came out with like the CF and the CFX, and they forced other vaporizers just to either hit a mark at that price point or fucking fail. And then the Fury clones did the same. The Fury clones came out and they raised it. They're like, oh, we can get this hybrid vapor for this price point. The Mighty is riding that luxury brand and that luxury experience on the 5-year reputation. So they haven't given us a whole lot of price breaks. We've seen the Terra come down from $220 to $200, and you know the Mighty is still sitting up there at $350, unless you can find a coupon, which we have a coupon, by the way.
Well, I would imagine at the high end, we should expect that it could be as much as 400, because this one debuted at 400. I wouldn't expect it to stay there long. You know what I'm saying? It could come out at 400, and then if it drops, what happens to this? Does this become a vape that you keep or get rid of? I mean, this is one of the, best vapes of all time. You know what I mean? Like when a Riser came out with our shit, they kept it for a while. When Storz and Bickel, well, see, Storz and Bickel dropped the original Crafty because it had issues that real issues that they fixed that weren't present in the Mighty. You know what I mean? They needed to fix those problems with the battery life and the plastic. So maybe the reasons that they lost the Crafty don't apply to this. I don't know. We'll see if they run both or just one. We'll see if I think it'll come out somewhere between 350 and 400, depending on whether or not they intend to keep this. I don't know. I don't know, man. That's interesting. Like, what would they have to do to the Mighty Plus to where it would make this one irrelevant?
To make it irrelevant, that's a tough one, because when people are asking me like, oh, do I buy the Mighty now? Like, I've saved up the money, but I don't want to buy it and then have the Mighty Plus come out, like right after I buy it, because that would suck. And it's like, yeah, that does suck, but you still have arguably the second best vaporizer in existence. Like the Mighty doesn't get worse once the Mighty Plus comes out. It just it becomes something newer and better.
And based on that picture and the difference between this and the Crafty, I don't know, because they did make upgrades. They did tweak the Mighty during production, so this Mighty hits better than my original Mighty here ever did. I didn't know that until you kind of pointed that out to me. So Troy, if somebody bought the Mighty now and a Mighty Plus comes out not far from now, I don't think that person would be missing out on anything on the vapor side. Do you really think they're going to come out with a Mighty Plus that does something better with the vapor?
No, I don't. I mean, yes, in the terms that the Crafty Plus adds, like, I think that little tune or whatever they did to the heater will make the Mighty Plus hit even better and extract even faster. But I don't consider that to be like a huge bullet point. Like, it's so subtle. It's and I think it's also more expressive on larger hits. So like, I notice it because I take huge fucking hits. Like, I can feel like, oh shit, the Crafty has a stronger spine in the middle of its hit, or the Crafty Plus has the stronger spine in the middle of its hit compared to both the Mighty and the old Crafty. Those are just subtle nuances, but big impacts for people like me who want to experience the vape. The old Crafty was a fucking turd. It was a letdown. I despised it. It let me down so many times, man. I want to invite it to my funeral. It can be a pallbearer. Let me down one last time. The fucking original Crafty.
How would it let you down? I never had a complaint with the vape. I didn't use it a ton, but it always worked for me. What did it do wrong for you?
I'd get like one bowl out of it, and I'd pack a reload and be really needing the bowl and go to hit my Crafty, and it's fucking dead. Like, oh really?
Yeah.
And it wasn't just like one fucking fluke. It would know. It would know when I really needed a bowl, and like, nope, sorry. This is one of those random times where it didn't charge, or you're only gonna get a half bowl before we die.
Vape gods are against you. That's funny. To summarize that, because I think it's an important point, Troy. If you buy the Mighty now and the Mighty Plus comes out around the corner, you might be a little butthurt about whatever features we can come up with. But from a vapor standpoint, we think, without having ever hit it, that you're probably going to be just fine. That's probably not going to get much of an improvement.
It's the same principle as the Planet of the Vapes 1 or the Fury Edge or the Healthy Rips Rogue. It's like, if you haven't hit the Mighty, you're okay. You're not going to know the difference. And you can love this vape and get so much enjoyment out of it and so much good vapor without ever seeing the experience gap. It's like, have you ever driven a BMW? You go drive a BMW, and then suddenly your Honda Civic feels like shit, and it's like, I'm missing all these like little polishes and little things. It's kind of like that. On second thought, Jerry, one really obvious change they could make to the Mighty, or the Mighty Plus, could just be a simple add-on grinder. Just a grinder right on top. Grind right into the bowl and then vape through the grinder.
They tried to do that with that little filling chamber thingamajig. Not a true grind into it, but you know what I mean. They kind of did the long way about it. Now they don't even include that thing anymore. I guess that wasn't much of a hit. I never used mine. Did you ever use that thing? That little loader? I actually have it here. I should use it. I keep using this big one instead.
When you have a big one, you like to use it, right?
Absolutely.
The loader is cool. I give them credit. It's a neat little gadget for being cheap plastic freebie add-on. It works well to put your weed in there and attach to your mighty, and you pull the little thing out, and you can scoop a little bit in there and use the thing to tamp it down in the bowl.
Perfect tamp.
Right. It's a really nice little device. I never use it. My friend in Canada uses it.
Does he?
And he vapes in his room. Like he vapes at his desk or whatever, and he'll grind his weed and put it in there and use it.
Well, that's interesting, man. I'm stoked you showed that picture. That's pretty cool, the Mighty Plus there.
The Mighty Plus will have orange buttons. That's worth upgrading to. That way, when you're deer hunting, you can add it to your total accumulative amount of blaze orange that you need to wear so you don't get shot.
The Mighty, the chosen vape of deer hunters everywhere.